Many argue that the doctrine of the incarnation is logically contradictory. They claim that Jesus cannot be both dependent and independent, both mortal and immortal at the same time. These objections often rest on the assumption that if a being possesses two contradictory attributes simultaneously, it results in a logical contradiction and thus describes an impossible entity. However, what is often overlooked is whether the attributes in question are being predicated of the subject, under the same respect and in the same mode of attribution. If the attributions are made in different respects, then what appears to be a contradiction is not a contradiction at all. Christianity explicitly affirms this distinction. In the doctrine of the incarnation, Jesus Christ is one person, a single hypostasis, but he possesses two distinct natures, one fully divine and one fully human. These two natures are united in one person, without mixture or confusion. Therefore, the claim that Jesus is both dependent and independent is not contradictory because the predicates are attributed according to different natures. According to his human nature, Jesus is dependent. According to his divine nature, Jesus is independent. A contradiction only arises if a subject is said to possess opposing attributes at the same time and in the same respect. But this is precisely what the doctrine of the incarnation denies. Christian theology is built upon this metaphysical distinction. Jesus is not both mortal and immortal in the same nature. Mortality belongs to his human nature, immortality to his divine nature. These natures are united in one person, but they are not blended into one hybrid nature. Therefore, no contradiction exists. Many critics mistakenly equate being a single person with having a single nature. But personhood does not mean being reducible to one set of properties or one ontological layer. A person can possess distinct attributes derived from distinct natures, so long as these natures are ontologically real and metaphysically distinguishable. At this point, one might ask, but aren't these contradictory attributes still being predicated of the same subject? The answer is no. If we clarify the function of the qua distinction, Jesus, qua man, suffered and died. Jesus, qua God, is immortal and all-knowing. These statements refer to the same person, but the predicates are applied in different respects. That is what qua distinctions are meant to explain. To say, the same person cannot have contradictory attributes, therefore the qua distinction fails, is to assume the very thing under dispute. It is circular reasoning. The qua distinction exists precisely to solve the apparent contradiction. To better understand this, consider a metaphysical analogy from consciousness. A single person may have both a material body and an immaterial soul. This person can experience physical pain while simultaneously engaging in abstract reasoning. The same person has both material and immaterial properties. But because these properties arise from distinct ontological domains, there is no contradiction. The incarnation is a mystery, yes, but mystery does not equal irrationality. What is mysterious is not necessarily illogical. It may simply transcend our finite understanding. Contradiction, by contrast, is a strict logical category. It only occurs when the same proposition is affirmed and denied at the same time, in the same respect. But this is not what the incarnation teaches. The doctrine clearly distinguishes between Christ's divine and human natures. The attributes proper to each nature are predicated of him in accordance with that nature, not indiscriminately. Therefore, the objection that Jesus cannot be both dependent and independent only stands if one denies the metaphysical distinction Christianity affirms. And in that case, the contradiction is not within the doctrine, it is within the critic's misrepresentation of it. If this content has blessed you, and you want to help it reach more people, please consider supporting me on Patreon. God bless.